The following announcement is paid for by the Wrestling with Nerds.
From Mordor to Hogwarts to Gotham, the nerds have come together to create a show for nerds by nerds. Join nerds doing nerd things as they talk about all things nerdy. Stay up to date on the show by liking the Nerds Doing Nerd Things Facebook page.
Hey there, the name's Nukem, Duke Nukem, and you're watching the Nerds Doing Nerd Things podcast. For some unknown reason, enjoy.
What's going on, wrestling nerds? Welcome to the Wrestling with Nerds podcast. We're going to have a little fun this episode and kind of change up how we're doing things because we're going to have a current events part of every episode, but we're just going to throw shit to the wall, see if it sticks, and we're going to do one straight out of the bat with everything that's happened recently in the WWE and in other wrestling promotions. That isn't on a cruise ship.
I recommend macaroni, not shit, AJ.
Yeah, well, some people were sometimes macaroni was too expensive, but hey, there's the other half of J&J Security, TJ Barnier. What's up, pal?
Not a whole lot.
Not a whole lot. We should have started recording this about an hour and a half ago, but somebody couldn't get into their fucking Madden bullshit. Hi, Ryan. How are you?
Hi. I can get into my Madden stuff.
I don't play Madden.
My ex-wife's not.
You can still get into Madden, though. Even though you don't play it, you still could get into it. Thanks, EA. You fucked up everything.
I don't think it's EA's fault.
We have it in Discord.
It's
dude.
definitely
Use the soundboard.
I know. I don't have it. I don't have Nitro.
See, well, I don't think it's EA's fault. I think it's more of a.
I mean, it's definitely EA's fault for not letting you link and unlink something.
All right,
I digress.
Football podcast.
I digress.
All right, well, TJ, take it away, pal. Where do you want to start? Because my brain goes to Monday Night Raw.
Really?
Well, I mean, obviously, if you've been paying attention, you've been following along, you've been watching our shows. Even if you hadn't been, we had that big Royal Rumble thing just briefly ago. Go watch the episode if you haven't already. Prior to this one, be a good idea. Might be a good idea because otherwise, spoiler alert, you've been fucking warned. 30 people enter. 30 people. Well, 29 people get tossed. That's kind of weird how they always said that. Yeah, math. I'm not gonna try to do big pop-up pump.
No, that's my job. If you watch the last episode,
that's definitely him. Yeah, I mean, you know, if you don't know by now, you now know. Cody Rhodes and Bayley, there's your winners. We had to wait till Friday to get Bayley's answer. Same with Cody, sort of, maybe. I don't know yet. Monday night, they both came out. They did their shtick. You know, hey, Rio's got a belt. Oh, yeah, you know. Io's got a belt. Oh, what are we gonna do? You know.
Let's not forget. Bayley showed up and Rhea came out, and then Rhea was attacked by Nia Jax.
Rhea got fucked up by Nia Jax.
The hell out of Rhea, and then she threatened Bayley of you can challenge for a title at WrestleMania, but Rhea is all mine.
Rhea
or
said,
may not have it. Yeah.
Nia said Rhea's not making it to WrestleMania, and she fucking better.
So
I love. By the way, I know we don't talk current a lot, but I love Nia Jax since she came back.
She's been she should have been.
I think they played.
Did you guys see her before the Rumble started? Before they put her in what I'm still going to call it a fat suit. They showed Nia walking into the arena. She looked good. I don't know what the discommunication in the look is between street clothes and whatever the fuck they make her wear for ring gear, but I swear to God, it puts 20 pounds on her. And it's just gear.
I don't think
we
so.
both are looking at. I don't think so. I thought she looks good both times.
No, I mean, I'm just saying it's not just my opinion. My guy Nate agreed. And his sister. They were all in my house. We were watching together.
Gotcha. The cool thing, what I like what they've done with her, if they've played into the internet with the whole she broke Becky's face. She
God.
hurts everybody.
She created the
her-
man.
With her debut back, she took out Rhea and Raquel. Rhea went and did promos in Australia, and Raquel took a week off. But she's just brutal again, and I like it.
I've been very much enjoying what she's done, and she is being the powerhouse and the effective powerhouse that she should have been from the beginning.
And her beating Becky was the right call.
Yes, 100%. But yeah, Rhea better make it to Mania because I want to see Mommy very much.
Oh, mommy gonna be there. Don't you worry, dog.
I have a feeling it's gonna be her versus Nia at Elimination Chamber, and then one of the Elimination Chamber matches is gonna be a match to get her opponent, and I think it'll be Becky. I think everybody wants Rhea versus Becky.
Well, since you mentioned that, Ryan, we should probably segue into why Bailey's not challenging Rhea. Let's just jump to SmackDown Friday night, where it was.
We
I
don't
think
want
we all
to.
agree.
We don't want to talk about finish
Well,
with.
we're just
we'll
we're
get
just
there.
on the women's.
We're on the
We're on the
women's.
women's
We're
right
on the
now.
women's.
Let's
Okay.
finish the women's track. We're on a good little train right here.
Choo choo.
I think the
Big ass train
storytelling.
with us three.
Yeah, it is. It's definitely freight. The storyline we got Friday night, I know, Fry, you agree with me here, as far as what they did with Bailey suddenly knowing Japanese. Oh boy.
I loved
All
it.
the all the shit talking that's
absolutely-
been done behind her back.
I absolutely love that. The idea that they think they have one up on her, and here she knows Japanese. It worked out quite nice.
We knew this was coming.
Obviously,
we just didn't know when.
the Kabuki Warriors
was-
turned on her at EO's request.
It was kind of nice how they made it where it wasn't like they turned on her per se. It was more of, hey, I one upped you by outsmarting you by knowing Japanese, and I've been planning this. There was one key person missing.
I was
Dakota.
gonna mention it. I'm glad.
Where's
Where was
Dakota?
Dakota?
And whose side is she gonna be on?
Good question. I have a strong feeling it's going to be on damage control side.
Yeah.
But
I like the. Because
before we
can you
go-
imagine if Dakota comes back acting like she's on Bailey's side, and then as we're getting closer to Mania, then turns on Bailey?
Or even at Mania. I mean, that could be the deciding part of the fight. Who knows?
Oh, I hope not. I would love to
Can-
see Bailey with a title. I really would.
Can we just take 1 second? Well, I'm gonna take a few extra seconds, but you guys take 1 second. Can we admire Bailey's wardrobe for this?
Hey, why did I?
SmackDown?
I knew he was going there.
It was
Do you think
the
they made her wear
greatest.
the black underneath? The black
I
undies
think-
underneath?
I think so, but it didn't matter to me one bit.
I mean, wow.
I mean, I love a woman in all white, but god damn.
In the words of one of our favorites no longer with us, yowie wowie.
Yeah. But I love Bailey had the pipe hidden in the stairs. That was a very smart move. I don't think she was meant to hit Asuka's title to make the big loud clank, because I bet that put a nice chink into the belt, which is kind of funny.
Especially if they're the same titles for everybody, and that little dent's gonna stick
Yeah.
around.
But yeah,
Can
now
you
we're
say
off to
that
the
on
race.
stream?
It'll be interesting. The one thing I think will be interesting is now that Naomi's back. Spoiler alert if you didn't watch Rumble, Naomi's back.
You were
and she's
warned to watch
officially
it.
signed- and she's officially signed to SmackDown. I feel like she's gonna be Bailey's backup. Now, whether the other part of that shows up, I've heard that she's going to AEW,
Waste.
but we've seen stranger things happen.
You know, it's funny, Ryan. You mentioned, Naomi's back and signed up. Who else got a call up in the women's division?
Tiffy time, baby. Tiffy time. And I'm throwing this out here, and I think I've had this discussion with both of you. Tiffany Stratton to me is Charlotte Flair without the lineage.
I actually said that to my racing buddies because we were watching in separate places, and they're like, after the match, they're like, we can kind of see it, and she's less. How do I phrase this? I feel like Tiffany's a little smoother in a lot of spots.
I don't know. There's not a whole lot of women that are as smooth in the ring as with Charlotte. If Charlotte's matches look rough, it's from who she's with in the ring with.
Okay. Okay. That makes a lot more sense then.
But I like Tiffany Stratton. I liked her in NXT. I like her now that she's on the main roster. I feel like she's gonna fill that Charlotte gap till Charlotte comes back. And then when Charlotte comes back, who knows? They could be a tag team. They could go against each other. But I
still want to
definitely
see Charlotte versus Jade.
I strongly feel like if Tiffany gets put in the right spots, which I think they would do that right, I think Bailey wins the title at Mania, and then Tiffany is the one that takes the women's title off of her later on this year.
Now,
She's
Damage
that
Control is Damage Control Raw or SmackDown? I don't remember anymore.
They're
SmackDown.
SmackDown.
They're SmackDown. Okay, so
But
that would make sense.
also
to keep her there.
they're also the women's tag champs, so it's gonna be interesting to see who ends up challenging them for the tag titles.
So have we covered the women's half of the roster? Do you think enough here? Are we good? I don't think I'm
So we
not forgetting.
think are we pretty much locked in that it's gonna be Becky versus Rhea, and then we know it's Bailey versus Io.
Do we want to throw in who we think are going to win, or do we want to wait to do that at a later episode when we do our WrestleMania predictions?
Well, we can.
Well,
do
I
it
would
now.
wait because we don't really know the technically we don't know the matches fully.
Yeah, but we can make those guesses, and then we can predict the other way when we do our pick'ems and stuff.
Okay, so this is mock draft 1 for WrestleMania. Here we go.
There you go. Mock
Okay.
draft. There you go.
Uh,
I think Becky beats Rhea, and Bailey beats Io.
Right there. What kind of? I'll let TJ answer his question before I.
We're sure Nia no Nia at Mania?
No, she's going to be
I
in the
don't know.
Andre the Giant Battle Royal.
Here's one thing to keep in mind: Are they going to change both? Are they going to change four world titles at WrestleMania? Do you think they would do that?
I honestly, either way, I don't know if Rhea loses. I mean, if Mommy and Judgment Day truly run the company as they say, I'm not putting Rhea down as
There
a
is a
loser.
lot of animosity within Judgment Day, and it's been growing and growing.
Yeah, but wouldn't that animosity grow even bigger if Rhea loses her belt and Damian cashes in and wins a belt?
Speaking of that, Cody
No, we're
gets.
not there yet.
Oh, but he
We're
mentioned
not
it.
there yet.
He mentioned it.
Put the toupee back on the lid there, sir.
But the thing is, he mentioned it. That's why I wanted to say it.
Well, hold that thought. Uno reverse card.
I'll go grab a skip. They're right there.
Well, Skip ain't gonna help you. You need to cancel.
Okay, fine then. Where do we want to go?
Well, we got our predictions then. I mean, you guys both have Becky going over on Rhea, and you both have Io Sky
change
losing to
mine.
Bailey.
I'll change mine. I'll give Rhea keep the women's
I think
title.
Rhea's keeping it. That's mine. I think Rhea's keeping it, and I think Bailey wins. Is that it? We good on mock draft 1?
Sure.
For the women's, yeah. Now for
Kabuki
Raw,
Warriors still the champions at Mania?
I don't know who challenges them.
And I think they'd have a thing to do in like that match.
I mean,
But I think we've got it
logistically,
for mock draft 1 on the women's half.
Logistically, the only team that could challenge them that would be a threat is Shayna and Zoe. Which
I
I
like it.
became a bigger fan of Zoe Stark in the last 3 weeks than I ever was.
I think she's
enjoy her
definitely
work.
done better without Trish on her shoulder. Not to say that her being with Trish isn't what set this up, but like I definitely do think she's doing better there. But I like that pick, Fry. That's cool. Well, AJ, I guess now that we're jumping over to the other half, go ahead. Take the toupee off.
So you want to get people even more pissed off because people are pissed right now. Like, big time. I don't care. I very much think this is what people have wanted. People have wanted Roman versus Brock.
Oh, you're jumping
100%.
right in. You're going feet first in.
They
Hey,
wanted
you
that.
need to hold. You need to hold on a minute. You go back to Raw. You direct what happened on Raw.
All right, put the toupee back on. Put the toupee back on. Belichick the Hood. So Monday Night Raw, we get in the ring one. Oh my! Friday, what? That was weird.
It went blurry.
Cody Rhodes. You know, he comes out and a Seth Rollins tries and begins this campaign of persuasion to try and get Cody Rhodes to fight him to not go after what he dubs the Hollywood title.
I didn't like that.
I didn't either.
I thought it was bad timing in general. You don't try to downplay that title and call it the Hulk Hogan title when you just had Hulk Hogan all over the Royal Rumble preview matches and just did the 40th anniversary thing and all that kind of thing. Maybe you call that the Warrior title or whatever. That makes it more apparent that it's just the show off belt type thing.
Do you think that was Seth just coming out and saying that, or do you think that was written for Seth?
I don't know, because Seth does what Seth wants to do, and
it didn't stop there. Seth had a couple other posts throughout the week, similar things, trying to get to goad Cody into challenging him. Obviously, as you can't tell, Cody Rhodes won the Rumble. Like, again,
you already mentioned it.
I'm just saying, spoiler alert again. Like, too late. You're late.
But Cody ended it with, "I'll think about it," and he walked out. And if you didn't have a doubt of what the fuck in your mind when he walked out of the ring, you wasn't paying attention, because I did.
What do you mean? What do you mean?
Should if the story was going to continue with him and Roman, then none of that should have affected his decision. He should have told Seth right then and there, no.
Do you think a lot of this had to do with CM Punk getting hurt?
But it doesn't make any sense on what the original base of the story for Cody was. That, not even getting into what happened on SmackDown. His original goal was to win the one championship his dad never held, which was the WWE title, which is what Roman has, is the WWE title.
Fast forward to Friday, Roman comes out. Yeah. Fast forward to Friday, Roman comes out, talks some talk, Roman things. Little weird chuckle that he's got now.
He's also throwing shade at CM Punk and Seth.
Well, and he called Seth the little brother, and about how he's beat everybody that's gone after that title, including Seth himself.
And he hasn't. He hasn't beat Seth for that title. He lost their only match against Seth at Royal Rumble by disqualification 2 years ago.
His only loss, I do believe, other than a tag match.
It's his only anything. Yeah, besides the tag match. But yeah, his only singles loss that wasn't a pinfall was Seth at Royal Rumble 2 years ago when he got disqualified.
So it's kind of funny that they mentioned that, like you said. Cody comes out to obviously a very large ovation as they are in Birmingham, Alabama on SmackDown, not far from his home region. We get a very impassioned promo from Cody about how he spoke to advisors and legends and friends and this, that, and the other. He gives us a very impassioned speech about how he wants Roman to know he still wants that belt. And he asks, Roman about what finishing the story to Roman would be and all this. And he goes along the lines to say, I still want that belt, but I want to move my goalposts forward. Is I don't want to just take that belt from you. I want to take everything from you. Pause. Okay, we're all good with this. Opens his mouth again and says, but not at WrestleMania. Ladies and gentlemen, I do believe it was at that moment that WWE created the quickest and largest dislike segment in the history of YouTube. Because a few seconds later, he mentions having talked to one of those advisors, and they know Roman Reigns very well. You see the fans in the back stand up behind because they know what's coming. Boom. Somebody key it.
What the Rock is cooking.
Appreciate you. That drew a eye pop from Roman, whether he knew it was coming or not. He's still kind of, ooh. Out comes the Rock. Hits the ring. shake hands, embrace with Cody for a second. Definitely jabbers in his ear about something. They hug, and Cody walks the fuck out of the ring.
And he has a turn halfway down the ramp and looks right
It's
back at what he's leaving.
and they did flash to the Mania sign during this, so it all leaves it open for damn sure. We've got a big presser event coming this Thursday that's pretty vague as to what
Which
the fuck's
we
going
will-
on.
We will cover that 100%. Whether it's
no
just
idea
me
what
and
they're gonna
Ryan
talk
or all
about.
three of us, or
Yeah,
Ryan,
I mean, no, they show everybody. I think the graphic I saw showed
everybody.
the four kind of involved in this story, and two of the women they're billing it as a Mania kickoff event. Kind of weird since we still have Elimination Chamber in between, which as on its own right should be billed pretty high. I mean, it's a big event coming.
Also, the
But-
press conference is in Las Vegas when WrestleMania is in Philly, so it's a little weird.
Yeah, I'm assuming they're doing it in the eyeball thing or want to. I have no idea.
This sphere.
Yeah.
So, can I throw my 2 cents in that I've been trying to
Now go. Now go.
So, Ryan, correct me if I'm wrong. The wrestling community has wanted Roman and Rock for years.
I'd even throw in there it's a year too late now.
Hold on, shut up. Ryan, on this show, has mentioned we're going to give you what you want. You're not going to like it.
Well, 200,000 people would definitely agree they did not like
And
it.
you want to know what's going to happen? Cody's not just going to win the World Heavyweight title. He's going to lose it that exact same night.
Maybe.
So you think Damien's cashing in on Cody?
Absolutely.
Maybe.
Because you want to know something? If they're gonna play this out, and he's gonna go that John Cena route, the year he lost to The Rock at Mania, where everything just went. That's how you start it.
I'm ready to interject on you. You ready?
Sure.
Cody Rhodes' final parting words. I don't want to just take that title from you. I want to take everything from you. What does everything mean to Roman Reigns? The championship reign, the control he seems to think he is in SmackDown, and the fact that he has main evented every WrestleMania for the last half decade. How do you remove Roman Reigns from that equation?
Not even the last half decade, the last decade.
You take Roman Reigns out of the main event of WrestleMania. How do you do that? You insert The Rock at the Elimination Chamber.
You think
I'm not.
You think that's where they're fighting? Because I don't.
The way it's going right now, Roman has won all of his fights, most recently with outside help. Cody just told you, I'm coming for you, but not at Mania. Him and The Rock battling an Elimination Chamber, not the chamber itself, but some sort of match. Here comes Roman's cronies, and all of a sudden there's an American Nightmare there on the side of The Rock taking them out, and you take Roman Reigns out of WrestleMania. If that doesn't break the biggest story of the last 3-4 years, I mean, since COVID, I mean, you take everything away from Roman Reigns.
Roman's
You
going to be
take
at
him-
Mania. There's no doubt. Roman will be at Mania with
But
that
what,
title.
Roman, maybe.
I don't get why you can't give them all what they want. You can easily fix this and give everybody what they want.
And they might. We don't know. That's the beauty of it.
And this is how you would do it. And I don't know why it's not been said. If it has been said, I haven't heard it. But I mean, if the Roman's way of winning for the last 2-3 years has been outside interference, even in cages, they find a way to make interference. So why don't you take The Rock and instead of making him wrestle at WrestleMania, make him the special guest referee? Make it Roman versus Cody with Rock as the referee. Cody wins. Cody wins the belt, walks out with the belt, and then you get Rock and Roman in their showdown. You don't have to have them fight each other. You don't have to have them wrestle each other. That could be the tip of the iceberg to lead you to SummerSlam. Because you know goddamn well Roman's not going to France for Backlash. I don't see him going to France for Backlash. As important as pay-per-view as that is, I just don't see it.
Oh,
So why not give us Cody versus Roman with Rock as a special guest referee, and give us, I don't know, whoever versus Seth. I mean, anybody but Drew. I think Drew's, like I said this before to you guys, Drew's ran his course at the top as far as I'm concerned, unless he does something.
Well, he couldn't even beat Gunther. He couldn't even take the IC belt off of him.
Do we see Gunther and Seth? If Ryan,
well, that brings us to the other part of SmackDown we kind of glazed past, and I know this is very near and dear to Fry's heart. A certain somebody was on SmackDown holding a contract to SmackDown and said, "I will give you my answer on Monday." Fry?
I think Braun Breaker is the guy that takes the IC title off of Gunther, and I think it happens at Elimination Chamber.
And that opens up, if Ryan, plug your ears because I don't want to see your head grow on this. Whenever Ryan talks about storyline, there is a lot of truth through that storyline, and as I have come to follow, I'll give you about 75 to 80% of the time you aren't just spot on, but you are right.
I mean, he called Yeet no Yeet on a whim.
But if that's what happens with Roman and Cody, okay, I'll take it. I will. It just feels like there's a lot of, hey, I'm over here. No, fuck you. Now I'm over here. Like, kind of thing.
Well, think about it. Think about it this way: for both nights of WrestleMania, what has been the layout for both nights of the last couple of WrestleManias? The tag team match was the main event last year for night one.
Yep.
The year before that, it was the women. The year before that, it was the women. You're not going to tell me that they're going to have Cody and Seth go on night one and Rock and Roman go on night two and be main events, because then the women aren't a main event.
Yeah, and I feel like whoever Rhea draws, that's going to be a bigger contest.
Then that feels like you're shorting. No, it feels like you're shorting Bayley. Bayley won the Royal Rumble. She deserves a main event at WrestleMania. Night one should always be Women's Rumble, unless it's a bigger match. Then move it. It's never. I'm sorry. I'm not being sexist in any way, shape, or form. But the women's main event or the Women's Rumble winner will never be bigger than the male Rumble winner. It just won't.
They did it that 1 year in New York.
I mean, is it important? I mean, we've seen it before. They've had a big match kick off Mania.
Yeah, I was gonna say, can you see Seth then Challenger start Mania off? I
don't think Seth's ego will allow him to be the head starter again. He was pissed when Brock decided to go on first for their match because he said he deserved the main event spot.
See, that bothers the shit out of me because, in my opinion, and whether you guys are with me or not,
the best two matches on the card are the first match and the last match. The first match sets the tone. The second night takes it out of the park. But you want to be, if you're in this business to be the first guy out at WrestleMania every year, you're in the wrong line of business. You eventually want to be the main event at WrestleMania. Seth has never been the last match at WrestleMania.
Other than the cash-in.
Well, that doesn't really count. But he's
I was just saying, he was just the cat. That was his only other.
He's never headlined the main event of WrestleMania.
And I'm just curious, but how much of this changes is if he doesn't hurt his knee? Any? For you?
No.
Just Punk.
I feel like it's hurt the story.
It's Punk's injury is what's thrown the monkey wrench into the whole thing.
I mean, you compile that with Seth's, and it's like a really bad month for WWE.
The bad thing about it is they've got
It's not
people
just that.
so.
That's why it's a bad month.
The one part's hilarious. They
Well,
have,
I wasn't gonna go
if you-
there.
if you look at other stories, like they have it set up perfectly that for like Gunther's IC title, they have it set up that people actually think Big E's going to return and take the title off of him because he's wiped out all of New Day. Big E ain't coming back for at least another year,
If not at all.
if not ever. He's supposed to get another scan in 6 months. So I mean, I could be wrong. They could be hiding it from everybody, and it could be Big E. But I feel like
And good for
The
them
right
if they
person.
are, because they've kept that really.
the best person to take the IC title off of Gunther, whatever, is Braun Breaker because
Do we
I feel like
want
it could
TJ to do it.
No.
It won't matter. It won't pick it up. Damn microphone.
I feel like making it Braun gives you that Ultimate Warrior honky tonk man deal for an 88 SummerSlam. Honky was scheduled to face somebody else. That person couldn't be there, so they made a substitute, and it was Warrior. It doesn't have to be like the match was, because I mean Warrior came out and basically squashed Honky and won the IC title. But you throw Gunther off of his game by making it Braun Breaker, and Braun wins. Now you're in business.
Does
one-
he get help?
Does Braun get help? Maybe the New Day cut off Imperium.
You don't think Corbin?
No, I don't think Corbin. I think he's gonna be on Raw and NXT both for quite a while, but I think it's gonna be kind of like two separate things for him. But then
Okay.
again, all we've heard is this whole unification thing. So God knows they could win the NXT tag titles and be unifying them with Judgment Day at Mania or something. Who knows?
What unification? What are you talking about?
The tag
Oh, the
belts,
one-
similar
well,
to the
no.
women's.
Well, no, the one rumor going around is that the plan is Cody wins the world title from Seth at Mania and then unifies the titles with Roman at SummerSlam.
I don't want that.
And
I want
and
2 titles.
and the big nerd feel on that is it, and he also brings back the big golden eagle belt.
No, it's just the winged eagle. Get it
Is
right.
it with the wing deal? Either way, I saw something about the eagle belt. That was the big like, oh god, that'd be
No.
great moment.
No,
But back-
I don't
back
want.
to what I originally said. His story was not about this world heavyweight title. His story was about winning the one title that his family had never won. And it's
That was
not
given to
Seth-
Dusty and
it's-
promptly taken away.
It's not Seth's world title. It's Roman's WWE title.
And Cody
So,
mentioned that in his promo.
If Cody goes for the world title, then unfortunately for people who don't enjoy it, Cody's story's not over with. Whether he wins the world title at WrestleMania or not, his story is not over with yet. So it's one of, do you know what the best thing about this is? Is we get to sit back and enjoy it and see how it unfolds.
Now,
For once in probably 23 years, the WWE has everybody second guessing themselves
and
and
it has
wondering
pissed
what's going to
everybody
happen.
off.
oh, everybody's on the edge of their seat. I mean,
No.
Mm-hmm.
Edge of their seat. All I'm reading is pissed thy fucketh off because they can't figure out what the fuck is going on.
And it's great.
well,
That's what
and
a
I do
wrestler-
believe the injuries played into it.
Triple H is, and I think I mentioned this when we did the Rumble.
He's bringing back
Triple
kayfabe.
H is trying to develop a kayfabe using social media, and it's working. It's pissing people off. It's making people second guess whether that's legit or not legit. It's working. He's creating the buzz of it's no longer just a straight linear line to where they're going to get to. There's now 6 different webs out there to just kind of converse on WrestleMania, and it all makes sense. And this has been the best that it's been in a long time because I think Hunter wants to prove that he knows what he's doing, and he wants to prove that it's not the other guy that did it for 20 or did it for 50 years. That he's just as smart as him.
And I know a lot of people aren't going to be watching this. That what I'm going to say, it's not going to, unless Ryan clips this and throws it on our new TikTok, which, wink,
There's
wink.
your plug.
Which I think is going to be changing its name in a couple days, so I'm not going to plug it. But what's
You say that
pissing
about
me
your hair too.
fuck
Love
off.
you.
What's pissing me off is all I'm seeing outside of everybody being mad, is, hey Cody, come back. You could finish your story over here.
Yeah, I've seen that too, and they would fuck up that story like everybody else. Like
You
AJ
guys
does
didn't
a wet
want him
dream.
anymore. You
By the
booed the
way-
shit out of him.
I think my
By-
favorite quote
By
I've
the
seen
way,
out of all this.
by the way, the real wrestling fans would tell them ones that say that you can come over here and finish your story. If you remember correctly, he can't challenge for the AEW World Title, you dumbass, because he lost the match saying he would never challenge for it again. So, fuck
Well, what
your
if someone
story.
challenged him?
What?
You said he can't challenge for it. What if the champion challenged him?
It's still he's not allowed to challenge for the world title.
I'm just messing with you.
Who is the
couple-
world champion over there? Oh, Sweet Tooth. That's right.
Samoa Joe.
That took me a minute.
He
Wow.
also plays King
So-
Shark in the new Suicide
So
Squad
I've
game.
heard.
Plays it
One
well
little
for what
thing
I've
I
heard.
wanted to mention is of all of this and all the hate that's come out of it. Somebody mentioned that in Cody's promo leading up to the Rumble, he said, I'm more CM Punk than you. And someone made the joke, wow, WWE took it literal and now they're not even going to have a main event WrestleMania. But the only belt we actually haven't mentioned this week from this week's proceedings,
Hey,
the Maverick.
yo!
the Maverick. Logan
Which-
Paul,
Which I know, we're gonna go back to Cody for a second, real fast. Logan Paul, Ricochet, and I wouldn't be surprised if there's more, have all thrown out that hashtag "We Want Cody."
Oh, trust me, this has Daniel Bryan WrestleMania 30 written all over it. And
Yeah, but
It's
we
one
like
way-
Cody.
I meant the fans in general then.
okay.
But I mean, I will not be shocked if Monday night doesn't get taken over with "We Want Cody" chants all night long.
We saw it tonight at NXT Vengeance. Vengeance
like I said,
Day.
when you
There were
break a
signs.
record for dislike, 200,000 dislikes,
And let's not
and
forget,
I forget the timing, but it was like stupid quick.
let's not forget, guys. WrestleMania is in Philadelphia. The last time Roman Reigns and The Rock were standing in a ring together
Royal
was
Rumble
Rus-
in
was Royal Rumble
Philadelphia, where
in
Roman wins.
Philadelphia, and they
And
both
it
got,
got
booed.
booed.
Exactly.
Who did
You
he
don't think-
Who
you-
did
you don't
The Rock help?
Big Show and Kane
Nope.
representing the Authority.
No. It
no,
was-
he helped.
it
was
was
it?
Miro.
Yeah, Miro was the
Was
last one
it?
eliminated.
Yes.
I thought
But
Big
no,
Show
he
and Kane
came,
were trying
The
to
Rock
toss
came
him.
out to help Kane and to eliminate Kane and Big Show. Miro just happened to be outside the ring and was the
Oh
last guy
yeah,
Roman
that's
eliminated.
right. He was I was
But
saying it
you
was
don't
Kane and Big
think-
Show were double teaming him until they tried to turn on each other.
You don't think that Philadelphia crowd at WrestleMania will take over that building if it is Rock and Raymond?
There'll be four of them.
you
There'll be
should-
three of them.
Four. What are you bringing a date?
Well, I mean, we're big enough. I figured,
Well,
a little bit of me.
I'm sorry,
a little
Ryan.
Bit of you.
I was trying to get something ready for if we talk about Vengeance Day. But what was that?
If you don't think that WrestleMania crowd will take over that whole match, if it's Rock and Roman,
Is it gonna be on the level of Brock and Goldberg at WrestleMania
Yes.
20?
100%. If not,
Well, how much
more.
are you gonna be yelling, AJ?
I'm gonna enjoy the match. I don't
Who's-
give a shit.
Who's more hostile, the New York crowd or the Philadelphia crowd?
I don't know. I was in MSG with that 20. We had a roof.
Dude,
I
there's
couldn't
they're,
hear.
they're
Let's-
called the city of
let's-
brotherly love, but sometimes I question how
Let's-
they got that.
Let's not
moniker.
forget. Let's not forget. Philadelphia Eagles fans have went after players' mothers on the other team.
They
in
also
the
threw
middle of the game.
batteries.
They've thrown more than batteries. Trust me.
But-
Bottles of piss and
No,
everything
but
else.
what I'm saying is, the sound is going to be different in an open air stadium.
Well,
than
yeah.
it was deafening at MSG.
I can almost imagine the amount of people that'll be there and the crowd that'll be there. Is there will be a wall, a roof above that arena, whether it's not a roof or not, and that sound will be right there the entire time.
So to finish the little thread we had going there in the first part, let's fill out our Mania men's half of the roster draft Mach 1 draft card. Who you guys got Logan Paul fighting? Ricochet and some combination of
I think it's
other
going to be like a
people?
ladder match.
That'd be fun. Do we still think the Ring General has the belt at Mania? No?
Wait a minute. You wanted to know who I was thinking?
For Logan Paul
Right.
at Mania.
Yeah. Hold on. I think it's. That's the right one?
Okay. Yeah?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah? Yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah. Let me talk to you for a minute. Yeah, I think it's gonna be LA Knight.
Winning it.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
Well, I think it's going to be a ladder match, but I'm fine with LA Knight winning it.
And the Ring General still the champ. Braun Breaker the champ. I would assume. I mean, I'm assuming we're all making the assumption every belt's going to be defended at
I would fucking hope so.
Mania. It's a 2-night affair. If you can't get every belt on the card, what's going on?
If Gunther loses the IC title before Elimination Chamber, then it's gonna be Braun Breaker versus somebody else for the US title or the Intercontinental title. And it's gonna be Gunther versus Seth, because then that means they changed again and Cody's facing Roman.
Any idea on the Judgment Day still holding
Awesome
the tag
Truth.
belts? Okay.
I think it's Judgment Day versus Awesome Truth.
Think that's where they're building with it. I like it.
I really wanted DIY to win a couple weeks ago, even though I knew it wasn't going to happen.
I don't feel like that's probably a championship that's not set in stone or even solid on who's got it come Mania. So that's where I'm going to leave that for me. Is it could still change hands between now and then. So I guess now we go to the big matches.
Hey, I want to ask this before we get to the Mania part. If it comes to find out Seth can't go at Mania, does Priest pull the trigger early on a Raw?
I don't know, because I don't know whether you keep Damian waiting in case something happens at Mania. Because like Seth's gonna get little to no in ring before Mania, I would almost imagine.
Mm-hmm.
They're kind of doing Shawn Michaels 98 here to him. He's not gonna be doing anything in the ring. But who's to say that he gets in the ring and within the first 3-4 minutes of a match and the knee buckles and it blows out or does something again, and then they're stuck sitting there with Seth and Cody or
Thumb up
Seth
their
and
ass.
Gunther or whatever, thumb up their ass, and you get Damian to run down, cash in, take the belt off Seth, and then continue a match or start a match with the other one. Or Seth or Damian takes it off of him before that main event match even starts. So the MCL that if it's torn, it's very, very tricky. It's a lot of rest to heal it, not surgery or any of that kind of stuff. So it's one of those
Can
deals where
confirm.
what's one of those deals where they're not going to know till they know. I mean, Seth has had knee injuries before. I think this is the opposite knee. I think he tore his ACL and stuff in his right knee, and this one's in his left knee.
Mhm.
But I mean, who knows? Could be just about any predictions that we're making now are like literally like with 20% knowledge.
Yeah.
This is again
Yes.
mock draft
Because-
one.
Because shit's gonna change.
We
big
haven't
time.
had our combine yet.
Yeah.
But that's kind of why I was saying that, because if Seth isn't good to go, does he come out, act like he's good gonna be good to go. Talks into the mic, hypes everything up. I almost said Damage Control. Judgment Day comes out of nowhere, storms the shit out of him, and because Brian, we had this conversation, he's not gonna hurt it more. It's like Cody with the.
No. I
with
feel
the-
like if they'll know by Elimination Chamber whether he'll be ready to go or not.
Okay.
So if there's going to be a title change swap, it'll be.
I mean,
either the Raw's there, right there, or it'll be at Elimination Chamber.
I wouldn't say, AJ, that he couldn't hurt it. He could easily undo the healing he would have had by then. So
Yes,
they're gonna need to be careful with it.
but it's already torn, so there's no extensive surgery. It would just be more rest to heal it again.
Right. I
And-
mean, you
and-
can.
And them getting the title off of him. There's your rest.
The severity of an MCL tear can result in a surgery, but they would have already done it if it was that bad. Which tells me that it may not even be a full tear; it could be a partial.
I mean, look at what Charlotte Flair's doing.
And a partial tear in the NFL, you can return in 6 to 8 weeks, which we got that well to Mania. So
Yeah, Charlotte is a freak of nature. I've followed her on TikTok since her knee, well, before her knee surgery, but I've been paying attention to it more. And good God Almighty, that woman's already doing squats.
I mean,
With
when you have the
20
nature boy
pounds.
for a father.
Now, let's not get fucking started on that. But I mean, her knee looks like it's swollen the size of like a small basketball, and she's sitting there doing squats. Her and I love now that Andrade's in WWE, so now we can do videos together again and show that we're still married after we unfollowed each other from IG and had the whole internet abuzz that they got divorced. But I would not be shocked if she's not back in 4 months. That's
There-
just my opinion.
That
So I
would lead
think
up
the
to the day
general
after Mania, the
consensus-
Friday after Mania.
I think for mock draft purposes, the general consensus is Rollins does not walk out of Mania the champion,
I don't think so.
and or walk out of Mania.
Unless the only I always have this thing that I always pay attention to. It's like, how many titles do they change in one night? And to change all 4 major titles in the same night or the same 2 nights, same event, however you want to put it, doesn't happen a lot.
Well, then who's keeping it?
I mean, if it's Rock Roman, I think Roman keeps it.
Absolutely. I would 100%
Yeah, I
say
mean
that.
that makes the story that much better whenever it does finally
But-
end.
But does Rock even want the belt?
Fair.
Is he just going for head of the table?
Does the Rock is the only thing the Rock want is the head of the table?
And can I point something out that none of you have mentioned? I don't even know if you guys caught it. When Cody Rhodes won the Rumble, did you hear what Michael Cole said? What inning are we in now, Roman?
I mentioned that last week, yeah.
That's a very interesting thing to say as a commentator, because that's only been mentioned in, like, backstage interviews and the post PLE pressers. It was very interesting that they brought that into the announce table to be said. But again,
think
that's
one
Hunter.
match-
That's Hunter and the
I-
kayfabe.
I think one match we're ever looking for WrestleMania that probably is a lock is I think we're gonna get No Yeet versus Yeet in a
Yeah.
singles match.
That'd be a fun midnight, not midnight, but mid evening
Mid card.
match. Yeah.
Think
I
there's
mean,
gonna
it's WrestleMania. I'm not calling anybody mid card on WrestleMania.
is there a,
it's gonna be
is
one
there
hell of a night.
stip with that match, or is it straight up?
Straight up.
Cage?
I mean, I think Jimmy gets the win because Solo interferes.
How long before Solo gets sick of Jimmy? I mean, I don't know if you guys heard it, but I heard Heyman was already planting seeds in Jimmy's mind if he should be the next one, not Solo.
Well, the vindictive one and Paul Heyman himself will always make sure that he's got somebody to manage. And since the other guy he used to manage isn't going to be on TV anytime soon, He's trying to make sure he's got people lined up. Of course, the guy that I think he should manage after Roman is going to be on Monday night and let you know what he decides with his contract deal. Could you imagine Braun Breaker with Paul Heyman as his manager?
I don't think he needs him, but it would be fun.
That would be badass. I think Braun Breaker is definitely the future of this company. I like the kid. He's got every part of his. He's a perfect blend of his dad and his uncle, and it works.
As long as he can count.
He doesn't have the attitude of Scott, but he talks and acts like Scott. But he has the physicality of his dad. I love seeing, like, what is it, 23 miles an hour off of the ring ropes. That's insane. And his clotheslines are just like his dad's. His dad's clotheslines to me were all my favorite clotheslines anybody delivered, because he didn't just hit you with his arm. He hit you like right here is where he would clothesline you, and it would like take your head off. And that's why the Steiner brothers are my favorite tag team.
Well, then here you go. Maybe Bailey loses to EO and that continues. Maybe Rhea holds on to it to continue her dominance.
Rhea and Seth are the only two that have been the champions for more than 8 months that we could see losing the belts. Can we agree on that?
Okay, yeah.
At Mania?
At Mania.
Because I'm not sure Gunther makes it there.
No, I meant of the 4 world titles.
Okay. Yeah.
So, like, they're the two that are the variables in question whether the top titles.
I feel like if Cody gets Roman, if somehow they pivot back to it, swerve us to it, I don't see how Cody doesn't get that belt.
You say that. They've thrown curveballs before. Many times.
But they're not going to curveball you 2 years in a row. What are they going to have him come in next year, enter number 1 and win the Rumble for round 3?
Wouldn't it be interesting if they did like a WrestleMania 10 type deal?
Which one was that?
WrestleMania 10, you had
Yokozuna and
3
Brett.
locations?
Yokozuna, Lex Luger, and Brett. Because Luger and Brett won the Rumble together. So Brett faced Owen in the first match of the night. Yoko faced Lex. The winner of that match faced Brett at the end of the night. Wouldn't it be pretty funny if you did it with Roman on night 2 had to fight Cody and The Rock, and he lost everything?
What's the main event?
I think you have to do it Cody, then Rock.
You wouldn't end the night with Cody winning the belt? Because honestly, let me put it this way, Ryan. You have Roman Rock go first. You don't have the tribe behind you anymore. Now you have to go after Cody.
You're right. That's what was going through my head as you started speaking was you got Rock, Roman first. The Solo and them are all taken out in that match. And then he's no longer the tribal chief, so they don't have to follow him. And then Roman goes in against Cody all by himself and then loses to Cody. And then you have Roman. Roman's lost everything. And then Cody has won the world title.
Yeah, here's the thing. Title. Roman loses. How long is he off TV, or is he done?
At this point, I don't care. At this point, I don't care. I understand he had leukemia at one point. I understand that. And I understand that he has a big family. I understand that too. But before he took or whatever deal he did with the other guy, what did Roman Reigns do beforehand that gave him the power to have the contract he has?
I mean, if you're gonna give it to me, I'm gonna take it.
I mean, exactly. I assume I assume it's the work he did in main events at WrestleMania is the last decade, and then what he did for them, his part of the COVID
He wasn't there.
years. Well, he was there towards the end. Like it was Drew and then him, right? Like that was but he was on the back end of it.
I mean, I remember the Thunderdome match where it was him and
It was him,
KO.
Strowman, and Wyatt is where he won the Universal title at, and that was SummerSlam.
And then he faced KO at the Royal Rumble that next year. That was a good
I mean,
match.
he had a lot of gimmicky matches there for a while with
But
people, like
you understand
KO
what I
and the
mean?
body
Like,
stacking.
Brock
and-
Lesnar, I know we're not talking about, but Brock Lesnar's put in the work since 02 to get the contract that he got. And he is that Andre the Giant of this generation, whether people like him or not anymore.
Is
I
it a
don't
bit of
care.
nepotism with The Rock?
I don't understand. Granted, I get AJ's point. If you're gonna give it to me, I'm gonna take it. But as even a wrestling fan to himself, he's got to know that he's shortchanging everybody.
Well, and how does he come back?
I don't think he does.
Who cares?
Oh, you're gonna bring him back. It's a matter of how, though.
I think he's gonna go to Hollywood.
I don't think he's that guy. I don't think Roman is the next Rock. I don't think he's that, or John Cena even. He's not that guy. He might have the look, but I don't think he's got the talk. He flubbed it even on SmackDown. He flubbed just a little bit. If you were paying attention, he flubbed his promo.
I don't know. I love the Bloodline story. I do. It got really, really drawn out from SummerSlam to now, where it's like nothing's fucking happening. And now The Rock showed up. Now I guess something's happening.
Well, they started to break up
but it's
the bloodline, and then they stopped that.
it's-
Even like
it's like if you're in the 6th, 7th inning, could you at least make the fucking ending exciting? Because it's boring as fuck now.
Yeah.
now, I want to throw that out because that just kind of popped into my head. The Yeet No Yeet match. What if that was Granted, they've pulled this shit before. What if Jay wins? The bloodline can't be at ringside for the Rock match.
I don't think you're gonna have that connection. I don't think that connection is gonna be made till after the match is over.
Okay.
I still think the right move is if it's not for a title and it's just for the head of the table, Rock wins. Rock wins. Rock gives it to Jimmy. Jimmy's the new head of the table. Then that's something that Roman can come back for. But if you just give it to Rock and Rock goes away, it's not going to work if both people in the main event go away.
Mhm.
WrestleMania 20, Brock and Goldberg. It didn't work because both of them were going to go away and everybody knew it.
And Miss G
Everybody-
was fucking deafening.
Everybody knows these two are going to go away.
And then it got even
Whether-
louder when Stone Cold stunned them.
Yeah, no matter what the match is going to be, you know they're both going to go away. So what do you have to care and invest in the match for? And it almost sounds like this was a Rock move from what I've gathered. This was
Well, he did
Rock's-
just join the board of directors.
It was Rock's way of saving WrestleMania. Let's not forget, Rock is a businessman, not a very good businessman. His production company is good. His tequila is pretty good. But XFL has failed. The Young Rock failed.
His game show lasted 2
His
seasons.
game show failed. There was something else that I saw that failed.
His
Dress
football league.
Well, they unite. I said XFL, numbnuts. That they had to unify it with the USFL to make it competitive for both of them. So all in all, his work as a businessman is kind of dog shit. I mean, it was kind of funny how you didn't think about it, but you made him part of the board. And that very same night on NXT, his daughter becomes the general manager of NXT.
And
I'm
do you
saying.
think am I the only one that thinks it odd that Solo isn't going after like a title, a mid card title?
Solo's not going to go after a title until he's by himself.
Mm.
And you think that maybe that's where that goes with Mania is after he starts to pursue something?
I think Solo will end up going for a title by himself, but I don't think he'll ever get a singles title. Solo doesn't move. Roman may have had a shirt that says "Move the Needle" or "Needle Mover." Solo Sikoa does not move any needle whatsoever, in my opinion. He
Is
is
that
the
because of the
big.
shadow he's been in?
He's the big giant. Wait, he doesn't. He all he does is stand there.
That's
He's
what I mean. He's
one-dimensional.
not the show. He's not the show though.
Well,
He's
if he
Tyson
becomes
Tomko.
if he becomes the show, well, hopefully he doesn't commit the armed robbery like Tyson Tomko.
But you know what I mean. When he was with Christian.
he's the problem solver, exactly.
Armed
I need to
fucking
hear
robbery.
him
That's
talk.
the first thing you fucking go to.
Any way to I don't know if you've ever believed in this, but the in a year where it's not like a surprise return, the number 30 entrant in the Rumble, which was Liv Morgan on the one side and I believe Sammy on the other. Think they've got anything to do with Mania?
I mean, you could get if they don't take the Intercontinental title off of Gunther before Mania. I mean, you could get 2 ladder matches at WrestleMania. You could easily get an IC ladder match and a US title ladder match. I think the Sammy Drew thing's not over with yet. For Liv, I think Liv's WrestleMania has to do with whether Raquel will be ready to come back or not.
Mhm.
You could get Raquel and Liv versus Damage Control, or it could be Liv. The women's tag match always seems to be a multiple team match.
Yeah,
It's
I was
never
just
a
about to say
one-on-one.
that.
So I mean, you could get, let's see, you could get Damage Control versus a Raw women's team, a SmackDown women's team, and an NXT women's team. That could be your WrestleMania match. Or it could be just Raw and SmackDown as a triple threat.
I like
tag
how
match.
this turned into Wrestle Talk week of now. Talked about now and now talking about Mania.
Well, I mean, we're on the road to WrestleMania. Like I said, we got a big presser
we can-
coming.
61 days away.
You can easily flip it and just name this one WrestleMania mock draft.
By the time you hear this, there'll be a big presser that have happened that we'll be
No,
covering
no,
on the next.
no,
Nope, nope,
TJ,
nope.
you don't
Yeah,
pay attention to
breaking-
the chat.
Breaking news to TJ, we have changed our release dates. It's no longer the Friday noon delight. It's now your Monday morning mayhem or Monday noon mayhem.
You're confusing my head.
Okay,
Anyway,
so for
It's
TJ,
no longer released on Fridays.
I got
We're
you. I
releasing it
got
on
you.
Mondays.
I got you.
for everybody wondering why this is out on a Monday, we're gonna be covering all the same stuff. We're gonna do our pay-per-views and everything, but we're also gonna throw in current events. If we did that on a Friday, we're a week behind because we record on Sunday
Word,
nights.
dog.
So
Which is why we can bring you information about NXT, which is coming up very shortly.
at like the hour 3 mark. So should we do
Oh, it
NXT
is not
now?
hour 3. It's like hour 1.5.
All
Not
right,
even.
we can run through NXT pretty quick. Pay per view was good. It's lost a little fizz because Tiffy's on SmackDown and Braun and Corbin won the tag titles.
That was a good
Or
match.
The Dusty thing. That was the best match of the night.
I thought so.
There was a weird cash in. I saw that.
That was wasted on. That was weird to me. I didn't have sound at that point. I was just watching because my headphones died, so I was just letting it play for you guys.
You didn't miss much.
But like
It
it was
was-
weird. Like that was a wasted cash in or something there. That was a little weird. Did get to see did have Alexis King sighting, which was nice. I want one of them Chase Hughes calendars. Can one of you two find me one of them and send it my way? I want to see the girls of
It
Chase
might be
Hughes.
sticky by the time it gets to you.
Ew! I hope you would just send it straight from
You
them.
will be
I don't
stuck
want you
like
to
a J.
I don't want it sent to you first. By then, it's already a month late.
That'll be a hole right
And
in
if
the
it's
U.
and good thing that that's sticky and not the wife, or she'd be a month late. Um,
Wow. Anyway, you guys got to fill me in. I was on tech support phone call when most of this was happening.
Dijak and Gacy was a very good.
Oh
match.
yeah, awkward smiler. I do remember
Yeah.
this.
I think I said at best Joe Gacy is a combination of Bray, Rip, and Mick Foley.
He's
but
Bray
in a
Wyatt
really
on Happy
weird way.
Pills.
Really, really weird.
I think Fry's thinking, yowie wowie.
I love how it's his own goddamn bottle of liquor and he won't put his lips on
You know, good point.
it. Dumbass. But what up? Well, Carmelo and Trick had their little tiff at the end of the tag match. I kind of called it weeks ago that they were gonna. One was gonna turn on
And I
the
think
other.
this is where you're gonna get their little feud, and that's gonna
Start
just
smile.
push Carmelo just to the main roster permanently.
Well, I think Stand and Deliver is gonna end up being Carmelo versus Trick versus Ilyanov or whatever. for the
If
NXT
Trick,
title.
oh my god,
I like Trick, man. I like him. We put a belt on this guy.
Oh well, Wells
He's so
Fargo,
cool.
Wells Fargo
He's-
Arena Saturday afternoon.
He's already been the North American champion. He
Oh,
was
I'm talking
North
about the
American champion a couple times.
NXT.
Oh yeah, that's what I'm talking about. But he said, "Can we put a belt on this guy?"
A big belt. I mean
how-
something big. Man, I like this guy.
So Ryan, as you guys know, I've been to Manias. I've only been to one NXT pay-per-view. By far, that NXT pay-per-view with about 10,000 less people ish in MSG for WrestleMania 20. I'm not going to count the one outside because sound is different. To the arena at Harbor Yard in Bridgeport, significantly less people. NXT was almost to the same point of how loud it was.
Well, it's diehard fans.
Well,
It's
yeah,
us.
NXT's more diehard, more.
If
It's got that more of a big time indie feel.
I can't wait,
It's us psychos doing a podcast on a Sunday night at 1 o'clock in the morning.
it's gonna happen.
NXT
It will
is
happen.
what NXT is what AEW wants to be.
Yeah. Yeah,
Sorry, I said it. Kiss my ass.
it's okay. NXT's about 2,000 WCW right now, so give it another year.
No, AEW is 2000. You said NXT is WCW 2000.
Oh no, I meant AEW. Apologies. Don't tie the rope around my neck.
You
Oh, I
do
got
that.
to sit-
You do that well enough on your own, pal.
Yeah,
We just try to
Learn-
keep something under you to support you.
yeah.
It's a lot of
yeah,
weight.
and the legs are starting to crack, my dude.
Um,
But NXT will be off the charts. It will mostly be because it's Saturday Mania and it's gonna be weird for us. You realize that show starts at 1:00.
yes,
Well, pregame show says 12:00.
yes.
You heard that they changed the start time for WrestleMania, right?
Up an hour. It's actually going to start at 7.
Yeah, it means the gates open at 5, which means we literally will walk out of NXT, walk across the street, and walk right into the Lincoln Financial Stadium for WrestleMania.
Yes, I'm aware. I am very much excited for it.
So we're gonna take bets before WrestleMania starts.
TJ falling asleep.
We're gonna get out of NXT by 4:30. Most likely.
No. NXT Stand and Deliver is only 2.5 hours.
I said we'll be getting out of there by 4:30. It's a lot of hanging around and shit to do in there. Plus, there's food in there. But anyhow, walk across the street, go to Mania. There's a 2-hour window before Mania starts. Give or take an hour and a half before a pre-match starts. We're sitting in our seats. I'm banking on somebody getting an hour and 15-minute nap.
And it's not Ryan or AJ.
And if you stick close to our social media, there'll be video proof of it.
Hey, remember what happens if you fall asleep with your shoes on? Get a Sharpie dick over your forehead.
What the fuck's his shoes got to do with it?
It's,
That means you're not going to bed. It means you fell asleep where you're not supposed to.
yeah. They Sharpie a dick on your.
I know, TJ. Every place is a place to fall asleep for you.
It's comfy, man. I'm taking a fucking nap. I don't know what the fuck you guys.
Does that
talking
mean
about.
you don't go to like
It
Bob's
doesn't have to
Furniture or
be-
something like that? Because if you're like picking out new furniture, like you're testing like it out, you sit down.
Well, how you gonna know you like it? It's comfortable unless you sleep on it.
It'll be like
Well, does that
Bed
mean-
Bath and
wait a
Beyond
minute,
and Click.
Wait a minute. Does that mean you go to Lowe's and take a shit in the toilets before you buy them too?
I only learned from Jackass. I mean, that's what I had for childhood.
But we will have video proof of TJ falling asleep, and I promise you
Somewhere.
that if he falls asleep in other places, and we've had this conversation, I have a posted note ready made that has the name of the hotel and the address of the hotel. I'm not putting the room number on it though, because I don't want random people showing up. But that way, when we leave him sitting somewhere, that he can Uber his way home.
Take me to the airport, baby.
I'd put his actual address.
Shut up! That's what we were gonna do to you when you got drunk.
Yeah, you're getting drunk and we're fucking emailing you back home.
We
Well,
were
not
gonna
emailing, but
Get you drunk, call an
Shoving me through a
Uber,
computer.
call an Uber, and tell him take him back to Connecticut.
No.
I was gonna say, did you not want anybody to know where you're from? I mean, the Hartford sweatshirt gives it away.
I don't
he
give
also
a
just
shit.
talked about a Center Arena that they
Yeah.
Where
At
the
least he
brick-
didn't talk about that. At least he didn't talk about that shithole double DXL arena.
Oh,
The
the XL Arena.
Yeah, whatever. It was adult
So
XL.
before we cut away tonight, because clearly we're nearing the end of this. Anybody else notice how boring AEW is without a certain MFJ there, AJ?
AEW is still a thing.
I thought I was watching WCW.
Granted, I will give him this. I have tuned in because I do like the whole Undisputed Kingdom thing. I just wish it would move along a little faster. So I do enjoy that. Now they have them matched up against the best friends. So that means that Roderick's going to take the international title or whatever fucking name of that title is off of that
I
stupid
had
orange
one
juice,
reason to watch that show.
that stupid orange juice guy or whatever.
Oh my god, you and the man with his hands in his pockets. No respect.
I mean, what has he done?
Here. Does this help? There you go. Give him a thumbs up. How's that sound? And then how he does it.
I'm just saying,
A fucking
where's
dumbass gimmick.
MJF?
Well, he'll show up when the time's right because he's not signed to WWE. He is signed to AEW.
Yeah, I don't know why people thought he was going to WWE. That was never going to be a thing.
No.
Maybe in another
Ye-
10 or 15 years.
You will see MJF when Adam Cole is out of a brace. Until then, MJF will stay off TV.
That makes actually
There's
a lot of sense.
there's
son of
no
a
need
bitch.
for it. There's no
Damn.
need for him until Cole's out of a brace.
So,
Damn devil. Damn devil.
anything else you guys want to cover before we say see you later?
Just that shiny spot in your forehead.
But no, we will
Oh,
be covering the
I-
presser event of this upcoming Thursday for WrestleMania.
I did get to go Friday night and experience an independent show for the first time in a long time. Up here we
First
had
time, long time.
Bro.
yeah, we had Matt Riddle in the house. I wasn't gonna go, but buddies had messaged and said, "Hey, they were going." It's like, "Oh, well, I'm off, so I'll go."
Fucking
I
ditched
was-
us.
I wasn't, and I guess still kind of aren't. I was never big on Matt Riddle. I didn't like the whole bro gimmick. I
Mhm.
know it's his gimmick. I know it's shtick or it's real thing. I was overly impressed with his commitment to the independent scenes. He looks like he's having a lot of fun. His shit is stiff as can be,
Ooh,
but it looks good. His knee strikes are unbelievable. It was a fun little show. It's about 6 matches. But it was fun. I got to hang out with some of our friends over at Wrestling Over Everything Facebook page. A couple of them guys were there. There's about 6 of us there. I got a really cool Funko, which I don't know where the wife put it. Otherwise, I
Blame
would
the
show it
wife.
to you. I
Doing
got
a lot of
the-
that lately.
It's a new
Oof.
release. It's a Hulk Hogan Funko with the Sports Illustrated cover behind it.
Mhm.
I saw it over on the merch table, and my one buddy's like, "I think you gotta have this." And I'm like, "Man, I'm not supposed to spend any money." And he showed it to me, and I'm like, "All right, how much is it?" And then I texted the wife. I was like, "Oh, I bought
Ryan
this."
Fry turned into Philip J. Fry. Shut up and
Yeah.
take my money.
Yeah, I texted her and said, "Look what I got." And her exact word was, "Oh, great, more shit for me to pack." I'm like, "Oh,
Speaking
okay."
of Philip Fry, hey dude, if that's the case, you got a dog waiting for you. If you know, you know.
But I'm slowly but surely collecting the Funkos now. I see AJ's background of all the ones he's had. I actually quite like them. So I didn't like them at first, and then my son got me some.
I have more. It's
So now I'm
bad.
collecting. Now I'm collecting the wrestling ones. He wants
I
all
have
the Simpson
3.
ones.
I have 3.
Does
I got a
anybody
Bubba
want
Wallace. I got a Dustin from Stranger Things, and I've got an Alexa Bliss with Lily.
Does anybody want to take a guess on how many I have?
300.
It's well.
138.
TJ is very close.
How much did you say?
138.
So I'll go 142.
No, it's closer, but the other way.
130.
128.
I have 121.
All I want.
How many, well, wait. How many did you lose in the flood?
7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8.
I'm assuming like you lost them in boxes. You still have them,
They are all in boxes. I've yet to ever take one out.
even the
Even
ones in
the
the
ones that
flood.
got water damage.
Those I kind of gave to other people.
Oh, okay. I'm gonna collect the wrestling ones.
In the box.
I want to collect the wrestling ones. Are there horror? I don't know much about them.
There are horror ones.
Are there like Michael Myers and Jason and those guys? Because I'll collect those too.
To my knowledge, there
Dude,
are.
they'll Funko anything these
But-
days.
Yeah.
You can get a Funko of yourself.
Why the fuck would
Yeah.
I want to do that,
I
have
know,
a
that's like
Funko-
3 boxes.
dude?
I have a
can
Funko
we
Jaws
edit-
board game with
Wait-
Quint
wait a
and the
minute.
shark.
Can we edit and rewind? Because like you say that, and I should have said, why the Funko would I want to do that?
Oh my.
I know that's a lot of box.
But anyhow, I want to collect the wrestling
It'd
ones.
be
and
one.
the
It'd be
horror
one of the
ones.
15-inch
We're
statues.
going off the rails of a crazy train.
Grayson,
All right, everybody.
Grayson,
We'll catch.
Grayson wants the Simpsons ones.
We'll catch you later for the Thursday WrestleMania kickoff press event. Whether it's just myself and Ryan, because TJ will probably be bowling and doing something else.
As long it's a freaking if we're doing it Thursday night, I'll be here by 10. I want in.
But the press conference is at like 7.
Yeah,
Okay, what difference does it make if you record at 10 or 7?
because it's most
Well,
likely going to be a live
what-
stream.
But yeah,
And
we
10
might-
can't be live?
we might.
Ain't like you ain't
well,
gonna repost it everywhere.
We're gonna live. Maybe we'll live react to it.
Or you don't go bowling Thursday. That might be asking for too much. I mean,
I'm gonna bowl your I'm gonna get a mold of your head and I'm gonna get a bowling ball
hey
made. in it.
TJ, for somebody who likes to go bowling a lot and does go bowling a lot, how did Thursday go for you, Mr. 199?
I like the score that somebody accidentally gave me. Apparently whoever was taking score, not our team, screwed up my score on one of the games.
What'd you
So
get?
did you score more than 200?
A 182 of what I didn't score.
Didn't you get like a 300 for 3 games?
303.
In 3 games,
Yep.
a cumulative.
A guy in the lane next to me got a 299 and a half. If you know, you know.
So did you just tell people that you bowled a 300?
No.
You sure? Because I bet if you
Thursday
told
night
somebody, I bet if
was
you
not
told
a good
somebody
night.
who didn't give a shit about bowling that you bowled a 300. they still wouldn't care, but it would be that you bowled a 300.
Dude, I'm not sure I've bowled over a 200 this year, and I've never gotten more than like a 215.
You know what you
I'm
should
not-
do?
I'm not a great bowler. I just have a lot of fun. It's stress relieving. You get to throw things at things
So it's
and then count
masturbating.
them. I don't usually throw things at things while I'm doing that. Not 60 feet down a lane. God.
Throw it at the wall and see if it sticks.
And that's how Bye-bye.
That's all, folks.
Bye, everybody.